Huh? Oh no. Groovy. Groovy. Hello there, and welcome to a new setup for Duel videos. I was going to do this without commentary first, then I decided to add commentary because, I don't know, I was kind of just hovering over the cards and I thought, I could probably just add commentary to this. Hope you guys like dueling book games. Tried to make this work on YGOPRO, but had some issues. Anyway, this is a new setup, as you saw through the minute-long intro. Hope it was more fun to watch. And today we're playing heroes against Phantom Knight stuff. One card Bard is the name of the deck that supposedly, and it tries to make this guy Bardich, Phantom Knights of Rusty Bardich. It might be Bardiche. It's like a type of halberd, I believe, and it's really fucking good. So during your main phase, it's once per turn. You can send a Phantom Knights monster from your deck to the graveyard, and then set any Phantom Knight trap from your deck. So straight up, he went for Phantom Knight Wing, which is quite a force to be reckoned with. It probably means that he has a Fogblade set. That's what I'm betting on. Mostly likely just because that's the best Phantom Knight card to go for, and I don't know why you wouldn't set it. So he's kind of given himself away there. Anyway, I do not want him to resolve this again, excuse me. So straight up I Dynamiscus, discarding my Shadow Mist. It does let me net a Shadow Mist search, going for my Stratos. Stratos is unlimited in Trinity, it's always been unlimited. So you can play 3 copies. I'm actually playing 2 in this deck. It's a 60 card deck. His next turn he goes up and summons Silent Boots, uses the rest of his tokens to make Wee Witch's Apprentice. Wee Witch is really strong here, especially when he's got this guy in the grave, Phantom Skyblaster. Man, Phantom Skyblaster is just nutty. This is the next 1-card Bard. The 1-card Bard, the actual one, is Gofu. Gofu gives you 2 tokens, which you just use all 3, make Bard straight up. It's nuts. Anyway, I was correct in guessing that he had the Fogblade. I just ran straight into it, and I have my trusty Ojamas set, letting me summon Shadow Mist from my graveyard. And Dueling Book rather, now has this cool way of increasing replay speed. Nice one, X Stephen. So I go ahead and summon Shadow Mist here, get my Mask Change search. And I could go into something like a 101 here. I'm a little scared of his back row. On top of that, I want to resolve my Shadow Mist as much as possible. And I also have Skyscraper 2 in my hand. Now, Skyscraper 2 is something that doesn't really see much play, but it's actually really important in this duel. I think I win on behalf of it. Once per turn, you can summon any E-hero from your grave that was destroyed by battle. And I want both Stratos and Shadow Mist to be killed by battle, so I get my Shadow Mist search when it's sent to the grave. And when Stratos is summoned back with Hero City, I get to search again. It's going to be quite powerful. Anyway, we search for our extra Stratos with our Shadow Mist once he kills it. He can't attack my Stratos because it's targeted with Fogblade. He goes ahead here, banishes, and gets PK Sword. Oh, he didn't have enough attack to kill the Shadow Mist, so he used PK Sword to attack over it. Our turn, we've got some pretty sick combos here. Now, I assume he's only playing one Fogblade, so I feel kind of free to let loose here. We're going to summon an extra Stratos, set everything and activate our Hero City, and now we can summon Bubble Man, and I have this Mass Change set, so I'm going to use this straight away, targeting my Bubble Man. He lets it go through, and we get Masked Hero Acid, which is just an absurd card. This hero deck is really strong, largely because it has the ability to just nuke the opponent's board in multiple ways, with Acid on Bubble Man, and also Vision Hero Witch Raider, I think it's called. You can tribute traps to tribute summon it, and when it's tribute summoned, you get to Harpy's Feather Duster, which is really cool. You can also make Absolute Zero in this sort of deck, which is also pretty sick, because you get to sort of Raigeki and Feather Dust your opponent quite a lot. We go ahead and Desires, and now we're just floating in card advantage. We also have, now, okay, I made a mistake here. This time I summoned Stratos, a Bubble Man, and then went into Acid, and I thought that if I attacked into his Wee Witch's Apprentice with my Stratos, I could then use my Hero City here to summon back the Stratos in main phase 2 and get the search, but I'd already hit summon limit. So it's a mistake on my behalf. I don't actually make the play, my opponent corrects me here. Speed this up a little bit. And yeah, like, at this moment I'm feeling pretty good. Like, I've got 3 pretty good cards set. Avarice is going to let me reset all my resources once I have enough stuff in grave. Fiendish Chain can just stop anything he makes. And I'm not really scared about his, like, Go tokens that he summoned with the Scapegoat last time, because my Torrential Tribute can just potentially wipe away anything that's an issue. He goes ahead and unicorns my Avarice. I let it go through. I could Fiendish Chain. Maybe I should have Fiendish Chained or Torrential Tributed. I really wanted to resolve Hero City next time. Now, I've got 1 Stratos in grave that's destroyed by battle, but once you start to summon them back, you tend to use them for sort of like Xyz material. And when you do that, like, you lose the ability to Hero City them back, because it's treated as a new card in the graveyard. He goes ahead and searches for Ragged Gloves, which is probably one of the last warriors in his deck. But we can just go ahead and Hero City and get tons of advantage. Here it's like, it's a +2 if you ignore the fact that activating it is a -1. We get our Stratos, then we get to search for another card, which is Honest Neos. Like, imagine if we had the other Stratos in deck, we could summon that, make like an Xyz, get another search, it'd be insane. Like, this card is really overlooked. I think he should have unicorned it when he had the chance. Anyway, we get to Premature Burial back off the Stratos, and it's not once per turn, so we get to search again, and at this point I think I've actually gone through all the heroes in my deck, so I'm very fine to just go into an Xyz. We make the 101, which is the only real out to his Wee-Witch's Apprentice. The reason I didn't want to kill Wee-Witch earlier was largely because he had the Phantom Skyblaster in grave, and adding that back to hand, it just gives him too much link fodder. I'm kind of like scared about it. He goes ahead and summons Ragged Gloves, and then Kagamusha Knight, going into a rank 3, and I have this Torrential Tribute set, but I let him do everything, because once he makes the Break Sword, he's hit the summon limit, so I'm free to just Torrential Tribute, get rid of everything. Notably on my last turn, I also hit the summon limit, but I normal set the Shaddoll Dragon afterwards, and normal setting does not count towards the summon limit, because it's a set, not a summon, so you're free to do that. I was hoping that he would attack into it with the Unicorn and then I could flip it. In general it was fine though, like, I got the Torrential Tribute through, and I think I'm going to attack for game here, but it's not quite game, because I have the Honest Neos in hand, but he also has a whole bunch of these Phantom Knights cards, like both Sword and Fogblade. You can banish them from grave to summon any Phantom Knights dude. If he had Bardich in grave, I banished it on the first turn precisely for this reason. He could just summon back Bardich. Here he's able to summon back Breaksword, which is just a 2k beta. I'm worried that he could maybe make Downward Magician or something. He doesn't really have an out to the Honor Arc. And as you see later, like, he can't really do much here. Like, you can keep summoning back Breaksword as link fodder, because you have like 2 extra like PK traps in grave to summon back stuff with. But in general, like, I've got like so many monsters on board. I thought I could maybe make a Nightmare Unicorn here. Unicorn would shuffle back Fogblade, but I wanted to like maintain card advantage. And going into a Unicorn, I've got to ditch a card and I get rid of 3 monsters on my board just for 1. It's not really too worth it. He Armageddon Knights, I probably should Fiendish Chain this, but he's gone through most of the cards in his deck and I'm not really worried about what he's going to make. He just sends a useless danger to the grave. And then he goes ahead and attacks with Breaksword. I've got the Honest Neos, which I can use in the damage calc. And at this point, he just gives up. Like, there's not much you can do to break this board. Yeah, in general, I think this was, like, I thought it was a really fun game. It took a while to play, and it was really, like, skill-intensive. There are loads of misplays that I made, so it's a good thing to learn from. And both decks are just really cool. I fucking love Heroes. Like, it's just such a cool resource engine. You can do so many things, like fusions, Xyz, everything. His deck is also pretty sick. He's, like, milling his top decks here. Yeah, as you can see, like, Phantom Knights are a force to be reckoned with here. It's been a while since Phantom Knights have done too much. We've seen them a lot in Burning Abyss builds, but Bardich, this dude, oh man, it's just pushing the deck over the edge. People are really scared of this card. I think Gofu's going to get hit next list. Anyway, this was the game. I hope you like my commentary, and I hope you like the sort of format that this video was in. It's kind of a new take. I haven't seen many other people do this sort of thing. Comment down below if you've got any suggestions, if you don't like my commentary. And until then, stay groovy!